What makes for a great live stream? I'm talking about the streams where you're scrolling down your feed, there's hundreds of streams there, you decide to click, then after you click, you start watching the stream after that freaking pre-roll ad plays, and then you're actually like, huh, this is pretty interesting. Then you find yourself sticking around 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and hours have flown by. You find a Twitch sub flying out of your pocket, you even threw down a dono, you're smiling, and you feel like you're part of something amazing. What is that magic? What goes into that incredible live stream experience? We're gonna break that down today so you can take those tactics and strategies and you can use those for your own stream. It's not just about some of those surface level items that you think about, like I've gotta have good overlays, or I've gotta have a good camera. Yeah, we'll talk about some of that today, but we wanna talk about the content strategy that goes behind those streams. The practice that goes behind being an incredible entertainer, and some of the elements that you could implement, practical elements that you can implement into your stream today. None of the generic advice. We're gonna cut all of that out. Andrew Perrin, let me kick it over to you. When you're scrolling through, whether it's on Facebook Gaming, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Mixer, which streams stand out to you? What are the elements that get you to click when you're browsing for a live stream to watch for a bit?
Well, normally I'm looking for a game that I'm interested in. I'm normally looking at Twitch and starting there. However, I can get attracted by games that I'm not interested in but mildly curious. I always come at Twitch a bit of an academic perspective, like why is GTA 5 so big right now? I think the thing that makes me click is whenever there's a good title for the stream. Something that shows a little bit or alludes to the stream's kind of dynamic. Like, is it funny or humorous? Is it kind of memey in its title? Is it satire? Is it sarcasm? The title can actually tell you quite a bit about what you're going to find in terms of the streamer dynamic and their dynamic with their chat. And so the title, I'll look, and if it's got something that I like, especially if it's witty, I will click. If it's well thought out, like I'll just be like, man, I wish I thought of that title, and I'll click and I'll try it out for a little bit. Or it clues me into that dynamic. The second thing I'm looking for once I'm in is I'm looking at the streamer and can I hear their voice really, really well? Is it clear and crisp? And is it something that I can listen to a lot for hours, basically? And then what is their dynamic with chat? I think one of my favorite things is how streamer engages with their chat and what that dynamic is. Is chat constantly trolling them and they're playing along with it? Is chat helping them play the game and kind of doing a backseat gaming type of thing? Is chat actually being really helpful and they're just playing the game with the streamer? What does that dynamic look like? And from there, then I decide, like, is that something that am I having fun enjoying that dynamic? And then I'll stay tuned for a long period of time.
That's great. And once you're tuned for a long period of time, then you may be interested in pulling out your pocketbook, dropping down the sub and the dono and what have you. So let's go back to stage one, the game. So it starts at the top of the funnel here when you're trying to funnel people into your live stream. You're starting with the game at the very, very top. Then one layer below that is the title of your live stream. And then the rest of it is the basically technical elements of your stream, the initial appearance of your stream, and then after that, it's the entertainment value, the community value, and the interaction that you have with your audience, going from the top down. And once you have people being entertained in your stream, then at the very bottom of this pyramid I'm drawing on the screen right now, that's the part where you make money. Cool? So let's talk about the very top of the pyramid. How do you select the right game to live stream? And so I think something that's very important to do is to select the right game on a per platform basis, and it's going to be different on every single platform. So the types of games, for example, that are popular on Mixer might surprise you. Go browse through Mixer right now. And Facebook Gaming, you're going to have a lot of mobile games that are popular on there. And Twitch, you're going to have kind of these mainstream esports games. And YouTube's going to be a little bit different because more YouTube-worthy games such as Minecraft or GTA and what have you are still mega juggernaut kings on these platforms. Generally speaking, the popular titles of today are going to be battle royale first-person shooters, and that kind of is prevalent across all platforms, and whatever the most popular competitive shooter is generally the most popular game. You're going to have obviously some exceptions like MOBAs, like League of Legends that are breaking through and what have you, but that's generally what's most popular. So depending on your platform, you need to choose a game that is at least got the potential to break through for you, or at least has some potential audience. So that's something to definitely keep in mind, and you need to do that research on a per platform basis. If you want to quickly test at any given point all of the platforms at the same time, my mom just called me, she's coming over to the house. If you want to quickly test all of the platforms at the same time, Andrew Perrin, you have a method to do that, so you don't have to do one stream for one platform, another stream for another one, and another stream for another one, right?
Yeah, so I just use a service like Restream.io, and I multi-stream one stream simultaneously to Twitch, Facebook, Mixer, YouTube, Twitter. And this allows me to test and see what game is working on each platform. And it doesn't take long to kind of figure out what's working, what's not. You only need to do 1 or 2 or 3 streams to have a pretty good idea. Oh, this is not working on YouTube, but it's working well on Twitch, but it's not working on Facebook, right? So from going from that approach, then you can kind of narrow down into, all right, I like the traction I'm getting with this on YouTube. I'm going to keep going with this just on YouTube now. So you don't necessarily need to do the Restream strategy the whole time if you don't want to, but it's really good at kind of narrowing down very quickly where you have some traction, especially if you're trying to pick the game over the platform. Like if you really want to do, Fortnite, and you really want to see where it's going to get traction, and then you can just kind of go where it's going to get traction after that, after you've done like the first initial couple test streams with Restream.io.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Restream is a great way to test each platform. We highly recommend it. And we'll see. We're working on getting Restream as a sponsor on our show, actually. They solicited us for it. So pretty soon you might see a Restream logo on these streams because we freaking love Restream so much. So that's the game part. Okay, the next part to note about games, quick power tip for those of you that tuned into this part. Facebook Gaming is the only platform out there out of the 4 major streaming platforms where if you stream a game that no one else is streaming, you'll get instant free traction. So Facebook is able to catalog people that are interested in specific games, and if it's an older game that no one's streaming anymore, but there's still millions of fans of that game out there, you can stream it out of nowhere and get lots of concurrent viewers, hundreds, sometimes thousands, that not thousands of concurrent viewers. You can get hundreds or thousands of total people that will come watch your stream over the course of a couple hour stream for old games. And that's just because they've liked that page on Facebook. Maybe they've engaged with some content about that game on Facebook. And then Facebook will actually serve your stream to them to give streaming a shot for that game. So Facebook's the only platform that actually does that. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we've talked about the game level. Now let's go ahead and dive deeper to the title level. And there's going to be different title strategies depending on the platform that you're playing on. In my opinion, I think Mixer, Facebook, and Twitch have one particular type of title strategy. The title strategy you're talking about, Perrin, where it's something clever. It's something that kind of lets people know what's happening under the hood on your stream. It's something that's kind of interesting and gets people to click, and it's not about SEO. It's not about keywords. It's not about juicing it up like on YouTube. It's kind of its own thing, that sort of streamer culture style title. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's a delicate art of sometimes using little text emojis in there or normal emojis, just being witty, being funny, or just being like super straightforward and to the point. Like I've watched people do like game stream, except they just took the E off of both words, and it's just really simple, kind of stupid, but it works. So it's just about being clever and seeing like what's kind of funny, what kind of clues you in to what the stream personality is kind of like.
That makes sense. Now YouTube is the complete opposite. So YouTube, when you do a stream, you need to use all of the YouTube best practices when you're releasing your stream there. And those best practices don't necessarily work on the other platforms. I've tried. So for example, if you're trying to break through with Fortnite, we always use Fortnite as an example. You can do a clever title on Twitch where you're like chillin' and whatever, ... emoji. You can do something that's like kind of funny and cheeky. It doesn't say really anything about the actual game, whatever. But if you're going to do a stream on YouTube, you can't really use a title like that. You're going to have to use a title that's like new Fortnite XYZ dash best or OP weapon ever. And then in the thumbnail, you put in a picture of, that weapon. It says new next to it. There's an arrow, and then there's somebody getting shot by it. And then you're in the corner going, That's a totally different style of title and getting people to click on YouTube, because YouTube's algorithm is vastly different than Twitch, Mixer, and Facebook gaming. And it's the only algorithm that can actually really push you in a significant way as well. And so YouTube, you have to serve the algorithm on YouTube, but the algorithm can actually serve you in return. So the other platforms don't necessarily require that. You're hoping on people to randomly find you and click you. Facebook gaming, like we said earlier, a minor exception. So that's the game level, that's the title level. Now let's talk a layer deeper. They've clicked on your stream. You've gotten them to click with that title and or thumbnail. Thumbnails are available on Facebook gaming and YouTube. You've gotten them to click. Now they're actually watching your stream after they get hit with that inevitable pre-roll advertisement. So so you talked a moment ago, Perrin, you said you've got to be able to have clear audio quality. And so this is a big reason why Perrin and I have these $1,000 audio setups. You don't have to have a setup this good, but it sounds good. And this is being smashed down by Twitter right now, down to garbage. So you have to sound good. If you're going to be on camera, you do have to look relatively decent as well, right? So you can't have a garbage webcam, because there's so many other people out there that have a better camera than you. Why would you watch someone that looks terrible? And so we've talked about this before, but you can have a webcam and still look good. So Andrew Perrin, say things and people will see you on the screen, and we'll talk about why you look good.
Yeah, so actually I think at least on Twitch or some other platforms, the visual quality of the webcam is not as important. It depends in the formula. Sometimes what the streamer brings to the table in terms of chat interaction or other unique value like skill level can override the visual quality of the camera. But if you aren't bringing in like that other X factor in that can override it, then you do need to have some good visual quality, and you have to have at least a medium decent webcam. I'm using a Logitech Brio, which is a good one, but really what's making it look good is the lighting. I have good lighting. I have 5 different lights in this room just to light my presence on camera.
That makes sense. So lighting is everything. So you can have a $50 Logitech C920 webcam with decent lighting. You're going to look pretty good. And you can have a Logitech Brio, which is a $200 webcam. You'll look even better. And then you can move up to, and I say it's only a $500 DSLR you're looking at me in through right now, in a ring light. And that plus a cam link is under $1,000. So a lot of the professional streamers you see out there that look absolutely incredible, it's because a lot of them have invested in the lighting. They've learned how to use their lighting first. Then, as they become successful over time, one of the big investments they make into their stream is to upgrade their camera to a multi-$1,000 camera with a nice wide lens that gives you breathing room between you and the audience, blah, blah, blah. So that's something that can be a longer-term investment. Okay, so audio and video quality, obvious. I think it's more important than anything else to eliminate echo in your room for your audio by using things like acoustic panels, even eggshells, putting in a rug into your room, etc. To have lighting for your camera, cool. But that's not the only thing about your curb appeal that matters. There's also things like your stream overlay. And so obviously everybody obsesses over the stream overlay, and people think that by having the best alerts, the best overlay, the blah, 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 that's really going to get people spiced up and to stick around. Perrin, do you think that's actually true?
I don't think overlays matter at all, really. I've seen great streamers with no overlays. I've seen great streamers with great overlays. I've seen great streamers with mediocre overlays. To me, personally, the overlays don't matter at all. Like it's a bonus, really, if they've put work into making nice ones that aren't characterized by their stream personality and the fun kind of concepts that the community has put together. What is more important is having that magnetism from the streamer, having him engaging everybody. How is he or she engaging chat? How are they narrating their gameplay? How are they talking? Are they even talking? Right? So it's these things where like, is it easy for me to jump in and just be engaged? Are they essentially, do they have any skills as an entertainer? And are they using those to entertain? And are they using those to community build? Those to me are factors that are way more important than technical stream overlays, or even kind of to a degree technical like quality webcam. And obviously with that comes, I mean, you still need the great audio, because the better you can hear this person's voice, the more that they can engage you, the more that what they're saying, they can kind of use their magnetism, use their charisma to reel you in, hook you onto something funny, or engage you with the gameplay. That's, to me, that's everything for a streaming personality to develop those skills. And it's hard, I know, whenever there's nobody watching, like if there's no one watching your stream, but you can gain these skills if you watch some of the best streamers. Sometimes they still do this. The same challenge occurs whenever you have so many people, that chat goes so fast that you can't really engage as much. You just have to get back to the essentials of being entertaining with your gameplay. How are you narrating it? Are you saying funny things? Are you pulling in puns or something? What's unique to your personality that makes you funny and engaging and charismatic? And are you able to convey that through a microphone and webcam combination on the internet?
That makes sense. This is the kind of bottom of the funnel that we were talking about. So for those of you that stuck around to the end of the episode, here's the real part that actually matters. So yeah, watching the biggest streamers is huge. It's not just about watching maybe the funny little things they say or the little bits that they say, but you can pull inspiration from those. It's about coming up with a concept for your stream, and you have to stream a lot and try a lot of different things. A concept for your stream, each individual stream, and overall for your stream, that really pulls people in and they gravitate toward. So let me just share an example. There's this guy or just a couple examples. So guys like Dr. Disrespect, and there's a guy on Facebook called Kingslayer. They both play a character when they live stream. And so when people first arrive at their stream, they're seeing this crazy looking dude in the corner. This isn't just some everyday person live streaming here. This is a character. Dr. Disrespect's got the hair, the sunglasses, the combat vest, and Kingslayer literally has war paint on across his face, and he's got a literal crown on top of his head. And so these guys are characters. And so when they're playing games, they're not just some guy. They're not just some entertainer. They are a character that goes way above and beyond real life and becomes larger than life. So when people arrive at your stream, they see that character in the corner and they're like, what the heck is this? They're enthralled. They want to know more. And then once they start streaming, they are streaming as this character and as this personality. That is a concept for a live stream that can work for a lot of different people. It's got curb appeal, it's got click appeal, and you can get people to stick around, assuming that this character is something that you really enjoy playing and enjoy doing. The point of this is you can't just be a regular dude playing a game. That doesn't work. And Andrew Parent and I are guilty of this. We're just regular dudes playing games when we live stream, and we aren't that successful at live streaming on our own personal streams right now. I was most successful on my own live streams when I got partnered on Twitch originally, when I had the character of AWOL. And the character of AWOL wore a fedora, he had a pair of aviator sunglasses, and when I started every single live stream, I'd scream at everybody, boom, sucker, while I played nuclear explosion animations behind me in 2010. This is before all these guys started doing this. And during the live stream, I was this character version of myself. I was engaging with chat, I was kind of egotistical, I was totally ridiculous and outlandish, and I was getting hundreds of concurrent viewers as a result because no one else was doing this on Twitch or anywhere on the internet. So that's a concept that I created. That's an entertainment concept. So you can't just hope that you are going to be good enough. What are you going to do to yourself, to your own personality, to the concepts of your streams to make you super entertaining and worth watching? And so there's a couple different values that you can provide, and I'll kick it over to you for this one, Perrin. But the pure charisma or character entertainment is just one thing you can do. But there are other types of value you can provide on your stream as well, right?
Yeah, so here's a good example. I've been doing Star Citizen, but I also watch Star Citizen streams, so I'll do a shout out to Bog Nagas. I think his stream is very interesting. He's about a medium-sized level streamer, and he is himself on stream, except not. He has a huge handlebar mustache, and so he's defined his character by this mustache kind of image of himself. But he's still able to be himself, but he has also at the same time created a character of himself as well. So in his stream, he's very kind to his community. He works together with them. I'd say he's a lot like Ko in terms of his chat dynamic, and he's very informative. He teaches a lot about the game. So he doesn't necessarily change his personality to be a different character. He's just made a character out of himself. So that way you guys aren't looking at like, oh man, I'm going to have to like do something unnatural to my personality and be some character who I'm not. Look at your own personality and see what character traits you can pull out of it that you can use to build a character around, and that you can be that person on stream. That way you're not completely transforming yourself, because I don't think some people would want to do that. I don't think some people want to act a different character necessarily when they're doing this kind of stuff. I do think some people want to stream and be able to be themselves. But you still have to think about characterizing that in some way. How are you going to make that identifiable and engaging? And what are the qualities about it that will define your community? Because ultimately, the characteristics that you choose to define you as a streamer are the ones that your community is going to adopt and like and rally behind. And it normally becomes, your Twitch emotes and things like that. So be thinking critically about what those are. Take a look inward and look at your perks. Look at your flaws. Sometimes bringing out a flaw can be funny. Sometimes bringing out a flaw shows how human you are, and it can be relatable, and it can be very engaging. Maybe you're hilariously bad at a game in some way, or a particular type of games. So let's say you're hilariously bad at platformers, just for example. So you decide that you're going to go in and you're going to play platformers hilariously bad. And in the adventure of this character that you've created, you actually end up getting kind of good at it because chat comes in and they help you learn, and you play so many of them on stream that you actually end up getting good at it. So your character can also go on a transformation over time too. Think of it like story building. How does your character transform over time? What are their characteristics? What are their flaws? You guys look at yourself critically like that. It'll be easier to understand how you should approach engaging certain situations in games, and how you should engage with your chat, and what can be funny. And try that. If you need to, even try writing it down, which I would like to do. I need to do this myself. But if you can write down those characteristics, then you can begin to understand and hone in on like what could work for you. And then just try it out, experiment, see what works.
That's a great thing. It's a great way to end the stream. This is omitting people that are fantastic at video games. If you're just great at playing the game, that can just be enough. And if you're not great at playing the game, but you know a lot about it, you can focus your streams on teaching people how to play the game, or carrying them through a portion of the game and focus on educational value. But nearly every big streamer that makes it and goes full time, it isn't educational value. It's either them being fantastic at the game, them being one of these characters. I don't know why you popped up, but them being one of these characters.
I didn't say anything.
I know, it's weird. I don't know. Them being one of these characters, or a combination of both, like in the case of Dr. Disrespect. All right, that is what makes for a great live stream. So do what Perrin said. This is your takeaway. Go write down your strengths, your weaknesses, your flaws as a personality, what value you think you provide to audiences, and what value you think that you don't provide to audiences and you want to stay away from. Put together a column of those 3 things that you think are really clickable, that can really get people to stick around, and then start to brainstorm ways that you can systematically incorporate those into your streams to make your streams value more apparent. A dude playing games is not good enough. You need to think deeper than that, and the streamers that have made it and become big personalities, they have developed those things, and that's why they're big. See you in the next one out, guys. Happy streaming, and just take a minute, take a step back, and just think about your strategy. It can pay mega dividends for you in the long run. Adios, amigos.